Before you set your 2025 goals, there's something your brain needs even more, and that is closure. Most people don't realize this, but your mind can't fully move forward while you're still carrying emotional residue from the past. That's why you can set your goals, make your plans, and even feel motivated, and still feel blocked. So today, we will be closing the year 2025 in the right way, so that you can start the new year with more focus, more clarity, and more drive. And the next video that's going to come out, we will work through how to plan your 2026 in the best way possible. So if you want to learn all about that, subscribe and be the first to know when the video is out. But for now, welcome back to my YouTube channel, the place where me and you get to sit together and have couch conversations to help you to reach your full potential. For those of you who are new here, my name is Saab. I'm a high-performance coach. I work with C-suite executives, professional athletes, global artists, and I help them to reach their highest version of themselves and reach peak performance sustainably. I'm also an international speaker, trainer, and the founder and CEO for Home of Greatness, which is a tech platform and the best community of high performers that you can ever be a part of. Every December, people jump straight to new goals, new planners, new habits, and new "this is my year." But if you haven't integrated what this year has taught you, your brain is still running on last year's software. You can't create a new reality with an old operating system, and you can't move forward if there's something that's still running in the background. The emotions, the disappointments, and even the wins that you didn't process, they stay stored in your nervous system, influencing every decision. So, instead of rushing ahead, we're going to pause and close that loop. As always, the science girl has to come out. So here's what's happening scientifically. When you reflect, you activate your prefrontal cortex. You should know that by now. The part of your brain that is responsible for meaning and perspective. You also rewire your reticular activating system, or your brain's internal filter that decides what you focus on. More on that on the first episode. Feel free to check it out. And by consciously reflecting, you're telling your brain, this chapter is complete. You can stop scanning for what went wrong and start looking for what's next. That's how reflection becomes not just emotional, but neurological healing. Let's go through this together. You can grab a notebook and your pen and do this now, or you can just listen and you could do it later, but I would advise you to do this with me. We do this together. I call this method the 3R practice. So step one, or the first R, is reflect. Because, as I said in the first video, awareness is the #1 step, because awareness creates your advancement. So what I want you to ask yourself are these questions. Write them down or screenshot. Where did I show up at my best this year? And what conditions and routines or mindset helped me to perform at that level? Identify what really works so that you can make it your new standard and replicate it in this coming year. #2, where did I struggle to stay consistent, focused, or energized? And what was the real reason behind it? Don't judge it, study it. Every dip reveals a system that you need to upgrade. #3, what did this year teach me about how I manage my energy, my emotions, and my time under pressure? Because high performance is not just about doing more. It's about doing what matters with excellence and intention. And by the way, you guys, these steps are really optimal to stay at your peak performance. You have to do these. An optional one, or a bonus that you can answer to, is if I repeated the same habits that I had this year for the next 5 years, would I be proud of where I end up? You gotta keep it real, you guys. Be honest with yourselves. The more honest you are, the more you're gonna be able to help yourself throughout the next year. And 2 questions that are not performance related, but are more personal. What am I grateful for this year? People, opportunities, experiences. What has life given me of, whether it's in the blessings or in the pains? What did this year teach me about myself? Second question. And the third is, what am I ready to release? And this brings up the second R, release. Let go to level up. You gotta be willing to let go. Take 3 deep exhales through your mouth and repeat after me. I release the pressure and I keep the purpose. Remind yourself that progress doesn't come from tension. It comes from intention. Let go of the mistakes, missed opportunities, and moments where you over-criticized yourself for. You did your best with what you knew then. And now you know better, so you will do better. Forgiving others and forgiving yourself is super important to be able to move forward. You can dive deeper in this point through your coaching or your therapy, both of which I highly, highly advise. You can release the pressure both on an emotional level through coaching and therapy, or on a physical level, which is fascia release, nervous system resting and regulation. And I've recently been doing that, doing both. And I cannot tell you how much better I feel physically and in my nervous system once I really start to release and rewire. It is life-changing. I really recommend this to everyone. Fascia release, nervous system resetting and regulation, super important. If you have any questions about these topics, drop a comment down below and I'll be happy to answer all of your questions. Sometimes we feel that the internal system is not reflected in our body, and our body can give us more signals and more pains that we no longer live in, but we feel them because we haven't let go of them. So take the time to really be aware of what is there, what are the pains, and take action to be releasing those pains. Now, the third and last R is rewire. You need to choose your new identity. What kind of person do you want to become in 2026? Write down one powerful identity statement for this year ahead. It's something like, I am consistent because I lead myself daily, or I'm consistent in taking action. I protect my energy when I'm around people that I don't feel comfortable around. I perform my best when I'm grounded and not rushed. I love myself by choosing to take care of my health. So what is your identity statement for this coming year? This is not motivation. This is identity rewiring. You're telling your brain, this is who I am now. And by the way, I would love to know what sentences you're choosing for this year. So comment it down below, because I could use the inspiration. We will work on this more deeply in the next video when we're working on our goals. We will expand this identity, and then we will really work through how do I practice that in my everyday life. This practice is going to take you around 30 minutes, the 3 R's, depending on how deep you can get. The deeper it is, the better, so take all the time you need. But the peace that it gives you after can last for months or maybe even the entire year. So before you plan this next chapter, take the time to close this one properly. You deserve to walk into 2026 with light and with more clarity, because this is how your brain functions optimally when you're more clear on what you want to work through. So if this helped you find a sense of peace and clarity, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to support me through this journey. And share it with someone who needs to exhale before they can start over. And this is a small reminder also for you that you don't need a new year to become your best self. You can do that today. You just need clear mind, a calm heart, and the right base to build on. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. I hope that you're benefiting and finding value in all of that. Thank you for being on this journey, on my own journey as well. I love you guys. I hope that this exercise helps, and I would love to hear your feedback. Thank you for joining. See you next time.